today. A couple of quick questions. Can you share a list with us today of the businesses that will be in scope under the Pillar One Foundation? And can you talk about whether or not you think more than half of the companies that will be listed there will be American companies, and how many Chinese companies do you anticipate being on the list?
So, I mean, what's being discussed at the OECD are companies with sales. I believe the cutoff is 20 billion euro, a little more than $20 billion, and they would be U.S. companies, Chinese companies, and other companies.
Well, I understand that, but surely on a proposal this large, you would have some idea of the number of American companies and the number of Chinese companies that would be there. So if you would just simply commit to giving us those numbers so that we can look at the data as well. These are major decisions, and we need to be able to make informed decisions on that. And so far, we haven't seen what's behind the curtain there, and I don't think it's right for the administration to do that without Congress having a full view of the numbers and the data. Second question I have for you: the Fed has raised their forecast on inflation for 2020. It's going up. You've talked about this being transitory, kind of an interesting term here. It doesn't feel transitory to families that are paying higher prices for groceries and for gas. Housing affordability is becoming a real question for way too many American families. Can you give us a clear date or time frame of when this transitory inflation will end?
I certainly can't give you a clear date. We're watching this very carefully. We have had several months in which inflation has been high. We have an economy that came close to shutting down, had massive shifts in demand.
We got all that. But Madam Secretary, I'll reclaim my time here. Yeah, right. But if it's transitory, then that gives an indication that you have clarity on the timeline, but you don't. One final question here in my limited amount of time. We're talking about the OECD and how it disproportionately affects American companies. Why in the world would we be thinking, I'm going to put this in simple terms, why would we be taking taxpayer dollars and money generated here in the U.S. and transferring it to Europe to fund their social programs? That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't we be looking at increasing revenues for Americans, not other countries?
The gentleman's time has expired. Well, I'll let the Treasury Secretary, if you'd like to give a brief answer, Madam Secretary.
Well, I think that the global economy has changed substantially in ways where source of income and residency of corporations is not clearly the proper basis for all tax collection decisions.
Thank you. Let me recognize the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Byer, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr.